Welcome to Hush, another journal blog. This one's been on my mind a lot lately. Male versus female, July 29th, 2026. This is a war I cannot jump on board with. I'm a girl's girl, but that doesn't mean man-hater in my world. It means I don't sleep with men who are already taken. It means I'm there for friends when a man treats them poorly. It means I believe women when they say they are being abused. I don't look down on them. I see them as having been insecure, and it's an opportunity to gain self-love and move on with their lives stronger and better. What it doesn't mean, men are all bad and women are all good. It doesn't mean that women don't sometimes abuse and use men and have no place in my world for doing so. It doesn't mean there aren't amazing men out there, because there are. One thing that really gets me fired up is when people make blanket statements about men or women as a whole. Women do this or men do that. It's just not true. People are people, and some men are awful and abusive, and some women are awful and abusive. There are also amazing men and amazing women. What I do see is that the world is insecure in general. This causes toxicity. People go toward one extreme or the other. They either become the psychological abuser who uses the other person up for their own security, or they become the person willing to accept anything just to be loved. This means both parties are toxic. Both are two sides of the same coin, erring to different extremes, and they tend to be attracted to one another. This creates the dynamic we so often see and call abuse. And yes, it is, but both parties play a role. When we just choose to hate one entire sex group, all we do is add to the toxicity and leave no room for personal responsibility to be taken. Then, of course, there are men who hate men for hurting women. And then we have the women that hate women and are more vicious at times than the men that hate women. And all this hate so we can avoid loving ourselves and taking responsibility for why we have been attracted to the people we have been. I didn't just fall into toxic, abusive relationships in my past. I chose based on where I was at. Once I found self-love, I noticed I started dating men that treated me with only respect. My picker changed. I now have a great guy in my life that I get to build up and help him to feel loved and respected as he deserves. The conclusion is that all women aren't good, and all men bad, or vice versa. Women do incredibly shitty and toxic things to men, and men do the same to women. We could include the LGBTQ community, but then we would just be reiterating everything. What this proves is that it's not a male or a female problem. It all stems from a human epidemic of deeply insecure people doing what it takes to survive, rather than full of self-love and thriving. Because in that world, we don't have controllers, and we don't have people desperate for love, that they end up controlled rather than loved. I hope this is a topic I'm inspired to talk more about. I would like to make a video on this topic because it fires me up. It's not the color of your skin or your private parts, hormone levels, where you were born, how much money you have or don't have that makes a person toxic. It's your level of insecurity that makes you toxic. Judging a group of people only reveals your insecurity. And once revealed, the source of toxicity in your life is revealed. No one wants to accept they are personally responsible for the people they have in their life. But I'll be the one to say it. You are. So stop judging and start putting all that energy into loving yourself. You might be surprised how your world changes in every good way there is. Until next time, Jill.